1925, makes her entrance clad in nothing but a barrel. She has been swimming and lost her clothes. The setting is New York in the Revolutionary War, but this was flapper behavior. The feelin' that makes me do wild things, mixed with a touch of eros. Again, this book is about more than Chicago. It tells how the musical developed the characterological and thematic methodology to observe and comment on American life. And all of that really takes form in the 1920s. F. Scott Fitzgerald is our window on the era, recreating for us not the many gangsters, crooked politicians, and prostitutes we've met in the city of Chicago, but the middle class of sheiks and flappers. The girls are well-intentioned, if daring, so it is titillating that Fitzgerald's story, Diamond Dick and the First Law of Women, begins, "When Diana Dickey came back from France in the spring of 1919, her parents considered that she had atoned for her nefarious past. Like all flappers, Diana pulls gammy pranks because women are finally allowed to want things. Not jewelry or clothes. Life. Diana doesn't want to be kissed because sheiks are fumbly. She asks to be kissed. And then she goes after her man at his current girlfriend's apartment with a .44 in her purse. So we're closer to Chicago than ever before. And the salesman brings us closer yet. This is not the traveling man who meets the farmer's daughter, but rather a guy who cons you into buying what he has to sell. His spiel was advertising copy, whose intent was to rouse a buying public for something it would be better off without. Smoking, for example. Mordden Cigarettes ran a series of magazine ads called Embarrassing Moments, in which John Held Jr.-like figures illustrated a tense moment eased by, what else? Smoking. Thus we see couples on the dance floor, one pair clearly not in on the fun, and the copy reads, "If your dancing partner chooses to fix her garter, be nonchalant. Light a maraude." Here's another. We see three people. Two are obviously uncomfortable. "When you bring two delightful acquaintances together and find they divorced each other 5 years ago, be nonchalant. Light a maraude." Who were these salesmen? They were Babbitts, the term drawn from Sinclair Lewis's 1922 novel about a man of some interesting quirks who suppresses them to conform. And of course, like everyone else in America, George Follansbee Babbitt was a merchant. Says Lewis, "He made nothing in particular, neither butter nor shoes nor poetry, but he was nimble in the calling of selling houses for more than people could afford to pay." A bit later, we learn that he was scholarly in salesmanship and an acolyte of the God of Progress. The Babbitt was everywhere in the 1920s. We even had a Babbitt president, Warren G. Harding, a conformist who favored prohibition, the good old values, and an ascetic government, but who, on the sly, was a drinker, an adulterer with an illegitimate daughter, and a crony capitalist who left behind the federal oil lands swindle known as Teapot Dome, the biggest presidential scandal till Watergate. Some of my listeners may wonder if Roxy Hart's nondescript husband, Amos, is a Babbitt. He isn't. Far from nondescript, the Babbitt is a personality trying to seem vacuous. Lewis's point is that the American bourgeoisie is suspicious of anything quixotic or individual. The Babbitt inhabits a Stepford world, supervised by other Babbitts and their wives with the mandate of stamping out, by intimidation or shunning, all nonconformist behavior. Thus, there can be no Babbitts in Chicago, because its setting is the place that refuses to obey. In a strange way, Roxy Hart is a kind of anarchist, a perfect Chicagoan, because she fights with everyone about everything. You're either a fighter or a salesman in Chicago. Some are both. But then almost everyone was a seller of something in 20s America. Even God. That last revelation comes to us in one of the most forgotten zeitgeist bestsellers of all time, the work of an advertising